All right. This time we're going to use a constant eye level at 3 feet. That's our height in the picture looking in at things. So we're going to have a 3-foot eye level, horizon line, 3 foot. That will help us in gauging when we want people at various points forward and back in the picture plane, how to gauge their height properly and quickly. So just remember, we're always at 3 feet. So this line not only is behind representing the ground plane meeting the sky in infinity, but it also can be thought of as striking across and in front of people to gauge how tall they are. So we'll just start and I'll show you what I mean. Let's say I want a 6-foot man here. I will then randomly assign that person, where I want them to be. Let's say here. I want a 6-foot man standing here. That's where they're touching the ground. And I don't know how high they are, but I'll put in an official vertical just to be clear, like before. So now I'm going to stick a real vertical up, longer than it needs to be. So this person's supposed to be 6 foot tall, and I know that the eye level is at 3 feet. That means it's going to strike this person right there at the 3 feet mark on a 6-foot man, which would be right around pelvis height. So I'm going to divide this evenly into 3, like this. That's critical because this is the ground, remember? Ground. That's what that is. And I'll go ahead and use my red pencil to make it clear that this is 3 feet. Okay, then I have to add because he's 6 feet tall. So now ground up till the point of the eye level, striking at 3 feet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then add another one, just approximating. 4, 5, and 6. Let's just estimate. Yeah, it's about right. Okay, so that's 6 foot, knowing that from the ground, I randomly picked that ground placement compositionally. That's what I wanted. Then I can go up and reach the true height by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go ahead and draw the man in. It's about pelvis height, so you could say the waist might be something like that. Shoulder. And real fast here. Hips. Feet, real simple. Hang around with arms in the pockets, no big deal. All right. So that's our 6-foot man. I'll go ahead and use my blue pencil. Say 6-foot man. Okay. All right. Next, I'm going to have a 5-foot woman. She's going to be standing slightly in front of him, though, kind of close. Let's say there. So again, I'll make an official vertical, just to make it clear as a diagram. And again, of course, all these really clear points I'm making are like invisible, tiny light lines when you're setting them up. It's just the idea and then sketching. But we're making them very official, formal. So everything is clear. So that's the ground again. Just abbreviate it. Once again, we're left saying that's 3 feet, even though she's only a 5-foot woman. The fact is she's standing further forward. So let's see where that puts her. We have to rescale the 3 feet though. Only at this point of the picture plane is a foot this large as with the man, because he's standing at this point of the picture plane. These are flat planes. As they come forward, they become larger in scale, and as they go back, they go smaller in scale. So she's got larger 1-foot increments because she's further forward towards us. Therefore, we have to carefully kind of say, okay, is that about right? Yeah, that looks like about right. And then I have to add 2 more, about like that. Yeah, it's about right. So there she is. So that's a 5-foot woman's height. So she's coming forward toward us. Since we're at a lower eye level at midlife, as she comes forward and she's shorter at the same time, she's going to end up not being as big as the man. So 5 foot tall. Let me go make my red pencil mark to make that clear. That's the important part, is the 3 feet, the horizon, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like we had 6 here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw her in real quick. Get the feet in there. All right, so the idea is we've got a 5-foot woman. All right. Now we're going to have something even smaller back here, let's say right there. Not sure how far back, maybe this far back, way back there. Okay, I'll make a little vertical just to be official. And let's say I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm like, all right, whatever. I want somebody back there compositionally, but you know, all right, that's okay, that's a 4-foot child, let's say. So now I do the same routine now. Now it's going to be even smaller scale because this person is standing even farther back in the picture plane, therefore demanding a smaller scale to feet. So she has the largest scale so far of feet, even though she's only 5 foot tall. He's 6 foot tall, but has a slightly smaller scale to feet because he's standing slightly farther back in the picture plane. Now we're going to have a 4-foot child. We still have to do the increment guess like this. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll continue with one more for 4. That's about right. Okay. We'll draw him in. All right, so he's got a bigger head because he's a little person, pretty small. So let's see. That goes down to the feet. All right, not that small, but either way, get the idea. That is a total of mark the head of everybody. Let me get my head out of the way. Okay, so that is a 4-foot child, farther back than any other figure. The woman and the man are farther forward. That would be a 4-foot child. Let me make their ground really clear. So that's just to make it official. We'll definitely say, remember, that's this point of the picture plane. So that scale is only appropriate. That scale right here is only appropriate for 1, 2, 3 feet way back there. 3 feet is larger here, a little smaller there. That's the way it goes. So that's important. Okay, next, let's have something smaller in there that's standing again forward again, but not quite as forward as the man. Let's say right there. We'll go ahead and put that somebody over here. All right. And again, scale would then be divided by 3 because we're going to 3. At that point of the picture plane. 3 foot, I should say. So there you go. That's 3 foot, but that scale is slightly bigger than with the child, but not quite as big as these two because it's, you know, between them. So the scale is somewhere in between these two groups. Okay, that's going to be like an 18-inch dog. So let me mark it off with blue and say, okay, we could say that 18 inches is 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot is 1.5 feet. That'd be right there. So I'll carry that over, you know. All right. Some sad-looking dog there. All right. Okay. That's 18 inches. So that is an 18-inch dog, but further forward than the child, but not as far forward as the man or the woman. And that's at 18 inches because, again, we carefully counted increments. 1, 2, 3. We could keep going, but we don't need to because the dog's only half the distance to the eye level. Okay, next, let's have someone really tall, that's even taller than anybody. And they're also standing more forward. Oops, my paper adjusted there. Okay, here we go. I'll have even a taller person standing a little forward from everybody, even the woman or the man, right there in the picture plane. And I'll go ahead and put that person's vertical in. Okay. All right, so again, this person's going to be really tall, 7 foot, but we're still going to divide at the scale and take a guess, something like that, right? And then we're going to keep going and add feet. We'll take, that's 3, add 3, so that's about right. That's 6. Let's carefully point that out. 1, 2, 3 to the level there. So I'll go ahead and point that out as 3 feet. But this is the largest scale. Let me go ahead and write ground under here, ground under the dog, and ground under our large person. Okay? Then we keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, we need another foot. Let's see. Hopefully we'll fit on our paper. We should. Okay, about there. So that should be 7 feet. So let's draw in somebody. So 3.5 would be about pelvis. So waist would be something like there. Okay. All right, so this is a pretty tall person. Okay. Okay, so that is a 7-foot person that is standing further forward than anybody. Say person. Standing further forward than anybody. So let me clear the diagram. So to review one more time, we randomly created a 6-foot person and said, I want them standing there just randomly. And because of that, I counted 3 even increments up and split it into 3 and then continued that scale. That scale is only valid at this point of the picture plane. And we know our eye level, being we are at 3 feet in the picture, our eye level strikes the man right in the middle because he's 6 foot, 3 foot being half. Next, we have standing forward from that a little bit is a woman who's 5 foot tall. So we have to strike 1, 2, 3 again to the eye level, then add 1, 2 and get her height properly. Then we say compositionally, I desire to have a small child or somebody standing back there. The child is not that small, 4 foot child standing that far back. So 1, 2, 3 up to the eye level, and then 1 more is 4. So there's a 4 foot child standing furthest back in the picture. Next, we decided to come forward again a little bit and have a dog standing there. I just made a little reference plane off to the side here. We still had to count 1, 2, 3 back to the eye level, but we didn't need the 3 feet. We cut it in half because the dog is only 18 inches off the ground. It's a pretty small dog. So that's an 18-inch dog this far away. And again, that scale is only appropriate for this part of the picture plane. This scale for the child, only at this part. This scale for the woman, only at this part. And then we come to the farthest forward on the picture plane, where this scale is only appropriate at this part of the picture plane, only sliding to the side, moving around, but not going back or forward into the picture any. And then we counted up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then had to add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how we got our 7-foot person. So that's pretty much how you can scale an infinite number of people. Just a note, of course, when you're, all this work is extremely fast, and it's also extremely light. You would do cobweb thin lines to get these references, and then you draw from your reference or whatever you're using, your drawings or paintings, to get the exact style and or line quality. All that stuff goes into it. These are just obviously done very quickly and basically to get the idea that this is how you scale. The rest is all up to you figuring out proportionally how to draw. For instance, if people are leaning over, tying their shoe, doing anything like that, and they're not at full height, then it's your job to figure out how much shorter than someone's true standing height is that same person tying their shoe or bending over laughing or something. Then you have to figure out how to scale them to that. But this method of everybody standing straight up is a great way to get them shuttled back to their position quickly. Then you can make those changes for their actual standing posture position for their narrative action. Okay? So 6-foot man, 5-foot woman, 4-foot child, 18-inch dog, 7-foot very large person. Okay? And that's how you do different sized people in different parts of the picture plane, all gauged off a particular height of eye level. Our eye level in this case was 3 feet. Okay? Okay, so we'll go on to the next one then.